Welcome to Lemonade Thoughts, a show where my guests and I question the moral thoughts and actions that everyday people question. In this episode, we'll talk about time travel, time-traveling movies, and paradoxes. I'm here with my guests, Arwen, Darnesha, and Emelia. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Emelia, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Arwen. I am also a senior at Gonzaga Prep, and I'm looking forward to not being here next year.
Ooh. Well, my name's Darnesha, and I'm also a senior, and I agree with Arwen. I'm ready to be free. Not that I don't love this place, but, you know, I'm just ready.
Question time. If time travel were possible, would we have already met time travels already?
I don't know. I'm, like, on the fence about it. I'm like, maybe. And, like, maybe it does exist, and we just don't know it yet because, I don't know, time travelers probably, like, disguise themselves, or they just haven't, like, come to our time yet. Or it's, like, it just hasn't been invented yet. Or it has been, and we just don't know. I don't know. It's, like, kind of a loaded question.
I mean, I agree. I think it could exist because, like, imagine, like, you're living in, like, the 1930s, and then you die, and then you get reincarnated as, like, a baby. That's kind of like time traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's, like, kind of like skipping through the decades or centuries. That's kind of a cool take on that.
It's
Yeah.
like religious time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, like, if you time travel, there would be like maybe a multiverse that you would go into, or a broken timeline that you would go into, so your timeline never has time travelers in it. So that's what I was thinking. Like, if you ever seen Loki, has anybody seen Loki?
Yeah.
Yes, that's split off time travels where there's a off person and they kind of go into a stream of timelines that if they get into that stream of timelines, everybody else's stream breaks apart, and that's very bad. Next question. What would a time machine look like? Not like a car, say, or a hot tub. But
Hot tub
what would
time
you think?
machine.
Yeah, exactly. What would you guys think?
I think
Like, realistically, if we were to make a time machine, what would you think it would
I
look
think it
like?
would be huge.
Huge?
I think it would take, like, an insane amount of energy.
You wouldn't think it's like an
I
app
don't-
on a iPhone?
No.
No, like, oh.
Well, maybe, like, in, like, its early stages of, like, time travel, and then as, like, time travel gets, like, more developed, then it becomes, like, more efficient and, like, compact, if that makes sense.
It could be beneath the earth.
Time travel?
Like the machine?
The concept of time travel is underneath the earth?
Well, I think that maybe it would be a machine that you would lay down in, something kind of like Avatar, you know, where they'd go to like a
Well, that's not time travel, is it?
I
That's
mean,
just
yeah,
them
but-
sleeping in cryogenic sleep and then to get to
Oh.
a space. That's not time travel. That's just
What's
going.
that one movie with, like, Chris Pratt?
'Cause
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, Chris Pratt
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence. When
Oh,
they're, like,
Oh.
Dune? No, not Dune. The space one.
Not
I
Dune
know
at
what
all.
you're thinking
Yes,
about.
the space
Yes, the
one where,
spa-
like, they're sleeping.
Yeah.
And they're cryogenic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I know exactly what you're
I
talking
forgot what
about.
it's
I have
called.
I
no
didn't
idea.
I didn't mean under the earth. I meant
Oh,
like
going back to that?
inside like the rocks.
Like in this, like in the
That
crust
still
of
makes
Like
the
more
the
earth.
context.
atmosphere.
Oh, like the energy within to
Yes.
make time travel
Oh, like
possible.
Yes.
geothermal energy.
Yes.
Oh,
I
couldn't
that's-
think of it when
that's
I said
actually
Oh, like
interesting.
in Back to the Future when they have
Yeah.
that material that
Mhm.
makes it possible for time travel because it's so entirely like compounded to like an energy stream or whatever. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
That's cool.
I was thinking like there's a lot of movies that go with that kind of thing where they like have a spaceship and they go through a wormhole, and that's how they usually time travel or go to like different universes or something. What are some movies that you guys have seen that has time travel in it?
Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah,
the most
Back to the
obvious one.
I mean SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah, the
That one
movie.
episode. That
I-
one episode.
You mean the movie?
No, the episode. Remember where like Squidward and SpongeBob get trapped in that like
yes.
thing
I don't
and they
remember
like
that
time
episode.
trade.
It's
Yeah.
it's an older one.
It's like a really older one.
Yes, I actually love that one. But in the movie, the like second movie, The Sponge Out of Water, they go into a time machine that like to get the secret formula back, and it's a whole thing. If you guys
Oh
seen that,
yeah, I've seen that.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Wasn't it like a photo booth or something? In one of the movies, there was a photo booth that like SpongeBob and Plankton traveled in.
That's the second one where it's all 3D when they go up in water.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the magical dolphin one.
I think I remember. That was a weird episode.
Oh, well, yeah. It's not an episode.
It's SpongeBob.
Oh, you're talking about the old, okay. Well, it would surprise you that there are a lot of movies that have time travel. I'll name a few. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Hot Tub Time Machine, A Christmas Carol, Terminator, Bill and Till's Excellent Adventure, Lightyear, Meet the Robinsons, Avengers Endgame, Deadpool 2, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Groundhog Day, Interstellar, Primer, Looper, Star Trek, Edge of Tomorrow, Planet of the Apes, and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically what happened was we meet a character named Jake, and he goes to like Wales with his dad, and he finds this abandoned house, and they're like, oh no, that's long gone because it got like bombed in the 40s, but he is able to see that there's a whole like thing of children there, and he realizes that they kind of live in a loop.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Time loops are like so scary.
But how is that possible to have a time loop? Because if you live in a time loop where time never progresses and you always live in a loop, how does time go on? Like, if it keeps really looping together, how does it ever keep streaming on? Like, it eventually has to break. And if it isn't, how does it go on?
Have you ever seen, like, time loops kind of remind me of the movie The Truman Show?
Mm-hmm.
How he just wakes up and does everything that, like, they do everything every day, the same thing.
Well, that's stage. That's not anything time travel related.
Well, I think it has like the same vibe.
Like the same vibe of like
Groundhog Day
and like looping and like the time, and it's almost like his life is looping until he figures out that he's actually being watched.
Because the idea of the whole thing is that it's the 1920s and he's supposed to have technically the perfect life, and by doing that they have to keep him in one place, and he has to have a stable life and a wife and stuff. And so what they do is they have to have like that kind of perfect life thing where he just goes and gets a job and has a nice wife and maybe a kid or something, and he goes through some traumatic things that makes him more in depth of the character and stuff. So, I mean, technically, if you go deeper into it, he does relive the day over and over again. But, I mean, you can never go as terrible as it is in Groundhog's Day, where he has to relive the single day for a decade or something.
Well, I kind of think of like time loops, like you kind of know how like time is like a bunch of like streams, kind of like in Loki. I think of like a loop as like it's not really a part of the stream, it's kind of just a circle, and it just like happens over and over again. That's how I think of time loops.
Okay. Do you guys know any other back in time movies, like A Christmas Carol? It's about him looking at the past and looking at the present, but also a little into the future of looking into the present, because he has a certain time where he's asleep, and then he goes into the future where it's a possible outcome if he keeps being the same person he is. And so that's technically looking into your future, and it's different with maybe Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where they just go back in time. And in the book they say that if you get in with your if you see your other person, the person that was you when you were in that place, you would freak out and you'd be like, what's happening? And they say nothing breaks or anything, but it will be very confusing, because time travel is confusing, and witches and wizards who meet each other usually die and end up creating terrible things for each other, they killed each other. So it's different.
Same with time travel. I also feel like there's people out there, I've read stories on people that know too much about certain things. You know what I mean? People be like, oh, back in the 1940s, this and this and this happened. I feel like some people will talk about specific things that I feel like only you would have to be there to know.
Yeah.
Like that, like people like that creep me out. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like historians who are like super precise for some reason. I'm like, that's like really, that's like, I don't know, impressive, I
Yeah.
would say, but also like, that's weird.
Well, they tracked down their each history and every little thing that went up to that, and like every thing. So I mean, it's kind of just like it makes sense for them to know more things, but like it also is kind of like they have to fill in the gaps some places where things happen. Like there's also like, have you seen in Hamilton, like no one knows in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Like that was a private meeting, and people didn't know, like we can't say exactly what happened, but we can say the outcomes of that meeting. So we can't really say like this part of history is kind of like it was kind of like this is a secret meeting where people can't see, so they made a song out of it, and then they saw the outcome, and so they just did that. So that's how they kind of portrayed the story.
Yeah, I understand like the filling in the gaps. That makes sense.
Do you guys have a favorite Back to the Future movie? Not Back to the Future, but time travel movie. That's besides Back to the Future and Miss Peregrine's, I can't pronounce that word.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Yes.
Definitely Harry Potter. I think the Order of the Phoenix movie just when she goes and time travels. I think it's just
Hermione,
odd because like also like all of the events that happen, like it just keeps going in a loop.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's scary almost.
It's more like I just recently read the book, and it was like that's like the last like 16 pages are the only time when they time travel, and like it's like a 300 page book and stuff, and it's like it's a really short time for a longer part in the movie. So like it's really cool how they like expand that kind of thing, because it's really one of the cooler things that happens in the movie. But I mean, one of my favorite time travel movies is Meet the Robinsons, and that's just what?
That's a good one.
It is. I've seen every Disney movie, and I've known that Meet the Robinsons is awesome, and my sister and me love it so much, and I enjoy seeing everything, just kind of like the wacky family members and stuff. And the whole thing is that a guy goes into the he steals a time traveling machine from his brother that makes one in the future, and goes back in time to try and ruin his younger self's lives so he doesn't have a better life. And the hat that goes evil that his brother also made turns evil, and bippity boppity boo, the whole world turns bad, and hats rule the world and control people. So I love that kind of story where everything goes chaos like that, because like time travel can go any which way, and instead of going through a loop all the time, it can go into hats control things. So I mean,
kind of like the butterfly effect.
That's a paradox.
Yeah.
And we're getting into it.
Wait, what's a paradox?
A paradox. God, you're going to make me look up a definition.
In the meantime,
while you're looking up a definition, there's also a movie. It's a horror movie. It's called In the Tall Grass. And basically it's about all these people that go inside this grass, like this tall grass.
Whoa.
Whoa. Dude.
That's crazy. Wait, is that like the synopsis?
Shut up. And basically they like, it's like a loop, and they see themselves going into the grass, and they keep doing that, and they keep doing that, and they have to figure out a way to get out of the grass while they're going this loop.
It's like a labyrinth, but like kind of like mystical, like magic, like what's the thing? Like Groundhog's Day. There's a there's no real solution until he makes it the best day, and he doesn't know that. He just wants to make the best day, and then it ends the loop. Like he doesn't know that. The gods of whatever make that loop just make it so that he's stuck in the loop until he finds a solution that morally changes the character. So it's kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of the stupid writers making up a situation where the character has to make emotional
epiphany
breakthroughs in order to actually change, and so they're technically stuck in that situation. So
Like they kind of make the whole story about making the character develop, basically.
Yeah, because if they don't, then there's nothing else. Also, there was now that I'm thinking about it, TV show about a guy who gets stuck into a loop at a wedding, and he he's weird in the beginning, and he's like doing all of this kind of stuff, and then he eventually accidentally brings a girl through a cave that brought him into the time loop, and it brings you to the end of the day. So the girl is now stuck in the time loop with him, and everybody at the party is like just knows that it's one day. But then the guy and the girl are now part of the time loop, and eventually it's not them like really changing character. It's actually the girl going away and learning quantum mechanics and physics and stuff, and then making a time bomb and to eventually break the time loop. So that's a scientific answer.
Science.
Exactly. Science was the answer. So in that, there was a solution instead of like involving the characters. I mean, the characters did evolve by knowing each other by the end of it, even though she didn't know him, and now they became kind of like a romantic interest. But let's get into the paradoxes. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition, when investigated or explained, may prove to be well-founded or true. Now that sounds stupid.
I don't think that's like the right definition.
No,
for this
it doesn't.
context.
Well, I said define paradox, and that's the first one. And
They're dumb if that's what it thinks it is.
what do you mean? It's the dictionary people. You're really gonna say bad
Are
things?
you gonna argue with?
I'm sorry, dictionary
Merriam-Webster?
people.
Yeah, Arwen, do you?
Webster. Never mind.
Okay. Arwen, name a paradox.
I don't know enough about paradoxes.
Awesome. We said one. Can you remember? Quiz time.
I do.
You were the one who said it.
No,
I know.
I didn't.
No, I'm the one who said the butterfly
Oh,
effect.
well, you guys pay attention. Arwen, you look like you need speaking. So speak.
You want to
speak
read
for my
You want to read
amusement.
the temporal paradox that I found? Time travel.
I
Yeah,
have a
why
list.
not?
Okay.
I think this one.
A temporal paradox, time paradox, or time travel paradox is a paradox.
And
Why are you
sentence.
laughing?
Period.
An apparent contradiction or logical contradiction associated with the idea of time and travel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better definition. Thank you, Darnesha, for making
Wait.
me look weird.
Wiki-
Wait, so
Wikipedia.
you have to dumb it down again. So what is it?
Oh my God. Okay. It's a thing that should be impossible. That
Isn't impossible?
That makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense.
exactly.
Which is why
So,
it's like a paradox.
I'm going to give you a paradox. The butterfly effect, like we said before.
Yeah.
But what's
so
the
for the
butterfly
butterfly effect,
Oh, wait.
it reminds me of. I don't know. This was like this short story I read. I think it was like in 7th or 8th
But wait,
grade.
what's the butterfly effect?
Butterfly effect is a domino effect where a little thing that happens in the past eventually, since it was like if you move a rock, or in this case, if you kill a butterfly accidentally, that butterfly was going to turn or like if you did it in the dinosaur ages, that butterfly was going to evolve into a like another species. So you technically just
you messed up the whole timeline
Exactly.
after that point because you messed up one
it's
little
like
thing.
life cycle.
Oh, Aaron.
I mean, yeah.
Arwen's got to go.
'Cause-
Bye,
oh.
Arwen.
Bye.
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 Yeah, so it reminds me of a short story I read in like 7th or 8th grade by, what's his face? Bradbury, Sound of Thunder. And it's about this guy. I don't know, it's like in the future and they have time travel and you can like pay to like time travel, I think. And he like I think he goes back to like the dinosaur era and he steps on like a moth. And when he comes back, everything is different. Like the English language is different. Like everything's spelled wrong.
Just because he stepped on a freaking moth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a caveman was like, ooh, look at that. It's a
Hit your
guy,
tooth with the mic.
yeah, he was like, ooh, that moth made a sound like, I'm gonna put that in my English dictionary language, and he talks and he makes stuff. I don't know, man.
And he makes fire. Ooh, fire.
Ooh, fire! It's the moth got burned in lightning, so now he knows fire. So it's, evolution.
I don't really know about any other like prominent.
I'll
effects
tell you
of it.
one. There's the grandfather paradox.
Oh, like in Umbrella Academy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where-
I didn't finish the 3rd season.
Oh,
I
well, that's
haven't.
fine.
I've watched like the first season of Umbrella Academy, so
This is not the. This is just the. Okay, I'll just tell you.
yeah, just tell me.
No, okay, it's not a spoiler or anything.
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
it's way different than you actually think. It's just so a boy hates his grandfather so much he creates a time machine to go back in time to kill his grandfather, making so the boy never existed because his grandfather never
Yeah,
existed.
he kills him too
Yeah.
early. He
So-
kills his grandfather before he exists.
Yes. So how has he ever existed to create a time machine in the first place to kill his grandfather? It's not possible.
Because if he kills his grandfather,
grandfather.
then his mother won't mate. And
If he kills his grandfather,
I mean, then
let's
his
say before
grandfather-
his grandfather even has his father.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then grandma won't have a mate, and then if grandma doesn't have a mate, they won't even exist,
Okay.
They won't.
and then he
Yes.
won't exist. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so is there like I said, a possible parallel universes or multiverse, or like do you think this could like paradoxes, do you think they could happen? Like if say time travel is real, do you think paradoxes could happen, or there was a way that time stream like
Yes.
flowed away?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes to what question? I said 2 things. Okay.
Yes,
Yes
to
to that,
A
yes.
and B.
Yes, there can be paradoxes, and no. You said universes.
Like parallel universes
Mhm.
and
Oh, you took it-
multiverses, or a copy of your own history, and then you're born in a history, like you go back in
I-
time after you killed, and like you're
kind of like how it branches off in Endgame.
yeah, like if not like you're in Endgame, Avengers Endgame, they branch back to the past, and then and then at the same time they bring this stones back. Steve, yeah.
I definitely think there's like multiple universes and multiverses.
Oh yeah, I think there's a multiverse.
Okay.
Like I
It's
definitely
a really
think
cool
like
concept to think about.
just an example. Like I definitely think there's Mars and quote unquote aliens.
Okay.
Like-
extraterrestrial.
She's going to Area 51. On
Like-
me.
Yeah.
I'm just
Like
kidding.
I think like on like the planets that we have, because nobody's like able to really go on a lot of the planets, so we don't really know. I mean, I guess there is like cameras and we have machines up
well, that's
there.
a different podcast. We're talking about time travel.
I
baby.
know, but I'm just saying.
Do you guys think that if there are aliens, they also time travel?
Yes.
Oh, we're going into a paradox stream of do aliens time travel?
Yes, they would. Because
Yeah.
I
I
feel like
think-
there's multiple
yeah.
humans on multiverses.
Yes.
But not called humans. They
so-
may be called cowboys
okay,
or
so
something.
the answer is a yes. I'm hearing.
The cowboy race.
Okay. So the answer is a yes. Okay, another one. A bootstrap paradox. So, say you get hit in the head with a rock, and you keep that rock. And then you go back in time, and you throw the rock at your head. Where did that rock come from?
I don't know.
Down under.
So, that's not... You can't say that for every answer. Okay.
Under the earth.
Back to the Future time travel or? Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you pick up a rock.
Yes. No, you... So...
Oh, so
You throw your time travel self throws a rock at you. You pick up the rock and you go back in time, and you're the one who throws that rock at you. Where does that rock come from?
I mean, God.
God,
I'm just kidding.
no.
I think like before like that paradox starts, I think it's like one version of yourself started it to begin
Yes.
with.
So that branch is so it's. Do you think it's possible for that branch to not have that rock in the first place, and they picked up a rock, and then that's how they were able to throw a rock? So, say
I think the original time traveler like self picked it up and then kept it, went back in time, and then suddenly them in the past, they throw it at them in the past, and then that's how the cycle starts.
okay.
I think it starts somewhere. I don't think it's like continuous.
Yeah. This is
like
Have you ever seen
that makes
Milo
sense.
Murphy's Law?
no.
It's a TV show, and it has time travel in it, and there was also a need for throwing that rock to make attention. Like in Harry Potter, he throws he throws the rock. So like,
By the way, I don't even remember this movie. So
no, you don't remember Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
I haven't watched those movies since I was like 6 or
Okay,
well,
well-
Darnesha, you can leave.
Yeah. Well, this is a
Well,
podcast about time
My
travel.
ride is here.
Okay,
Not
well,
actually,
okay.
Not actually.
Oh God! Don't scare me, okay? Okay. In Harry Potter, he throws a stone that Hermione throws the stone at Harry that she finds on the ground. What if Harry kept that stone and gave it to Hermione? So, does that mean? So that's how that would probably work.
Yeah, but you do realize that when it gets thrown at Harry, and they go back to time travel, the rock goes back to its original place.
Sis, what?
Wait, but
I
they
don't
went
get
back
it.
in time, and
That's what I'm saying. So the rock was always there in the original place where Hermione picked it up.
because
throw
they
at
went to the
Harry.
past where the rock was at the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it keeps circling and circling and circling like a loop,
Yes. So that rock is forever
embedded.
in the earth.
In the
Okay.
Have you guys, every time you say like under the earth or in the earth, it makes me think of Journey to the Center of the Earth. You know that one movie with what's his face? Frasier? What's his face?
What's his face?
What's his name?
I don't know. I never
We're getting
seen
off
that.
topic. We got
I
like
don't know. They go to
okay.
the center of the earth and there are dinosaurs.
Okay,
Anyways.
cool.
Off topic.
Okay. Predestination paradox, where you go back in time and try to stop an event only to cause that event in the first place.
Means you're dumb.
Yes.
Sorry. My brain hurts.
Okay, so say you have
I understand it, and that's why
Okay.
like my brain hurts.
got it. You don't need to add anything. You just need
Well,
to be
I
like,
guess-
whoa.
Whoa.
Flies in the air.
my head flew off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like maybe you caused it unintentionally before without you knowing, and then you go back. I don't know.
Okay, but I think like it could be stopped if you time traveled again, like because that's a second
Twice?
time. Yeah, because you can't like you caused the event, but you could always like if you like.
But wouldn't that cause the same thing? Because you were already trying to stop the event in the first place.
But you already know where you are trying to stop the event. So I.
What if you cause another event?
God. Okay. Next paradox. Okay.
This is why they're paradoxes.
Yes.
They hurt.
What
your
if
brain.
you killed yourself?
Dang.
I mean,
Whoa.
time travel wise, okay.
Whoa.
So you went.
What? Sorry.
You accidentally went to the past and you killed yourself. How'd you go to the past? That's the grandfather paradox, but with
I
less
think-
steps.
I've heard of like versions of that story where you kind of just like I don't know, the universe erases your existence.
Yes, but forever, like you weren't even born.
No, you weren't even born.
That doesn't make
Ooh.
sense
And then
because
it
you
just
were alive
branches-
at one point.
Maybe it branches off into like another like timeline where you died at the point where you
or
killed
maybe it just
yourself in
branches
the
out to you
past.
never creating a time machine in the first place, because like you died.
Oh,
So like eventually, tiny little things that happen.
wait,
that
it
make
just
you-
causes the Mandela effect or something.
Oh.
I hate the
Oh.
Mandela effect.
Oh my
We're
god.
not talking about that.
wait.
That's not time travel. That's
Well,
stupidity.
Okay, but some people, you know the Berenstain Bears thing.
If you,
Berenstain
swear-
Bears and
it's the
Berenstain.
Berenstain Bears.
Yes, I know.
We're gonna look it up.
It's no, it is. I know this answer. It's the Berenstain Bears because they're not Jewish. They're not Berenstain Bears. But since they were, but since they were a book before, they people read them as Berenstain Bears because that's how it looked like it pronounced. But then the writers were like, no, and the TV show came out and they pronounced it Berenstain Bears.
I remember the
It says Berenstain Bears.
Stop! You're reading it wrong.
It's spelled Baron and then the word stain and then bears.
Exactly. That's how people pronounced it.
So people just
remember
spell
the,
it wrong?
No, I remember the theme song. It was like the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, I remember.
The
I
Berenstain
loved that
Bears.
show.
I remember
the
that.
Berenstain Bears.
But like, we're not talking about this right now. But I have one last comment of the Mandela effect terrifies me.
the Mandela
terrifies
the
me.
Mandela, because it's like a bunch of people who are like, wait, what? You know?
Wait, what?
Especially, like,
Was I
especially,
that
like,
high to know
if you
that?
see a person that looks
Max, you
identical
do
to you,
drugs.
run and
Oh my
hide.
god.
Have
Oh
you
my
seen
god,
that?
he has the weed.
Have you
Call
seen?
the 9 police.
Have you seen that?
Are
have
you high right now?
Max, have you seen
Can I
that
have
where it's like if you see someone that looks identical to you, run and hide.
I've seen like the 2018
What is
people
it
think
when
it's
you
a-
see someone
That looks
sorry.
identical to you, run and hide.
Stupid.
Oh, like the TikTok audio?
Kind of, yeah.
One last time travel paradox. Time travel concept where a man goes through a portal but stops himself from going through the portal. So the paradox never happens. These are just the paradox never happens. So how does the paradox happen? But when he goes to the paradox, how does the paradox work in the paradox? Paradox.
Let's just start
Oh,
mumbling thing.
So if I went back in time and killed myself before this meeting happened, would this ever happen?
No.
No,
No.
because I killed myself.
You'd be dead.
But how would I do that if in the future I had made a time machine and I never made the time machine?
The Mandela Effect.
That's not the Mandela Effect. God damn it. Berenstain Bears. It's the same thing as killing yourself in the past.
The Berenstein
kidding, I'm kidding.
Bears. The Berenstein
Yeah, I think it
Bears.
just branches off into like another timeline.
Yes.
Or like Fruit Looms or Fruity Pebbles.
What are you talking about?
Sis. They've always been Fruity Pebbles. What are
They've-
Fruit Looms?
They've always
You meant loops?
They're called Fruity Pebbles, but they're 2 O's. So it's people just say fruity because they're not going to say foodie.
Fruity?
Foodie. they're not going to say foodie.
Wait, so it is fruity?
It's Fruity Pebbles.
It's
Yeah,
not
but it's-
fruit. It's not fruit. There's 2 O's.
It's
in
like
the whole thing.
FOOT.
Yeah.
Fruity Pellos.
Fruity
There's
Pebbles.
no R. Foot Pebbles.
Stop.
Okay, no,
Wait, there's no R?
not in Fruity Pebbles.
I'm
Okay,
scared.
guys, please.
I'm sorry, Max.
This was a lovely time travel paradox where I was going to kill myself at the end of it or whatever. But now we've gotten into something else. Can we just
Yeah.
okay, just say what you need to say.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
It says Fruity Pebbles right here. Okay.
Okay, last question to end it off. Is it moral, if time travel is real, to go back in time and change events?
No. Because it affects everyone.
But what if, like, you went back in time to kill Hitler?
And what if it caused someone worse than Hitler to, like...
But what if you killed
arise?
the person who causes something worse?
What if we made Hitler get accepted into that art school?
Exactly.
What if somebody went back during when quarantine happened and somehow got rid of the disease before it spread it?
Oh, like if someone took a vaccine
Yeah, like let's say
to, like, when they were...
never happened 'cause somebody prevented it.
My mental health.
Our whole entire lives would be better.
Well, but
It
was
would.
it? The question is also, was that meant to happen in order for something bigger to happen?
Yes.
Like predestination kind
I
of thing.
think it's because I'm not.
Well,
I think it's because that it got rid of half the world.
So like Noah's Ark kind of thing, but
Yes.
virus. But
Yes.
it was scientifically
Well-
it was scientifically known that a virus was going to come
it
because
comes every century.
it comes every century
Which is scary.
because that's just how life is. And now that we have technology,
He's like,
it's
that's
not going.
life, bro.
Yeah, it's not going to be technology. Now that we have technology, it's not going to be the Black Plague. It's going to be like we're going to eventually fix this, and it's not going. It's like it's going to be different.
We're like able to save more people.
Yes, than we were, but it's not like it's like it's so like time travel. Would you? So would you go back in time and kill Hitler?
Yes. If I was able, yes.
Okay,
Honestly, same.
so
But I think I would worry about like the repercussions and like the butterfly effect.
yes,
'Cause like changing one small thing could like lead to a huge
we would.
impact. Imagine changing like a big thing.
but what
you
about
know?
all the Jews that died?
Anne Frank would never be a
Yeah.
thing.
So, well, it doesn't matter. Anne Frank.
I think
Yes,
that would be
She's
would
important.
that would be
It's
a
because
good
she
thing.
died with a journal that we
I
have.
know
that
she would have never made that journal if Hitler didn't exist.
And
because
that would have been a
Jews
good
were
thing 'cause she
happier.
wouldn't have died.
yes,
That
Oh,
too.
dang.
but so
I think I'd kill Hitler.
okay,
F that guy.
you don't kill Hitler. That's the point. Because in the time when we were trying to get rid of Hitler, We created computers. We created so much technology. We created
That's
army
true
stuff.
with the war.
Exactly.
Like advances.
We created
technology.
computers.
So
that
if we
made
go
it
back in
faster for
time
us
with the technology
there was
that
no
we
need for
used to
computers.
kill, that we used to go back in time to kill Hitler, we come back to the present and suddenly we're set back decades.
Exactly, because we were at a
See,
point.
that's what I'm saying. With the butterfly effect, changing one small thing can
But
have
that's not a small
huge
thing. That's a
impacts.
huge thing.
I'm saying, imagine changing like a big thing.
Yeah,
and how
because
much
it would.
bigger
Yeah,
the impact
exactly.
would be, is basically what I'm saying.
Well, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have to do that?
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you.